Today we're going to discuss a regular four-cycle automobile engine that has been converted to steam. Many people think that's easy and fun and a good idea, and it is a possibility if you understand quite a few things about it. This is easier to convert to steam than any other automobile engine because it is a flathead engine. As you can see, the head was taken off. These things right here were added, these little cylinders right here, and that is essentially the steam chest. The original exhaust valves are left here, and as you can see, they come up and down as this is turned, and the intake valves are down inside here. We'll show you those later. And it's just a regular intake valve with about an inch and a half longer valve stem. And then, just to briefly explain things, here is the head. And the head has to have some little spaces milled with an end mill into here in order to get the steam from the valve to the on top of the pistons, or in the case of the exhaust valve, to take it away. So this is interesting. Somebody in California made this. Somebody from California, a guy named Dick Moore, drove out here from California and gave this to me as a present, and I forgot to ask anything more about it. What we can do is come and take a picture straight down of this one particular cylinder, because the valves, the intake valves and the exhaust valves, open and close. It is not easy to convert an automobile engine to steam, because when I first got started in this business, I thought there was nothing to it. All you did was stick a steam hose down the carburetor and away it would go. It doesn't work like that at all. To start with, the timing of a steam engine is the same as that of a two-cycle engine. In other words, you always have steam pressure, and so you're going to get a power stroke every time the piston goes down. And in this case, the camshaft timing was changed with a smaller sprocket. Chain was different, so the camshaft turns at crankshaft speed, whereas every other four-cycle engine, the camshaft turns at half crankshaft speed. And I have not pulled the camshaft to see if they did anything different to it in terms of the cam grind. And I really have never heard of anybody using one of these Ford engines as a steam engine. There may be others. This is the only one I've heard of. This is the only one I know. When we get the time, I will show you some two-cycle weed whacker engines converted to steam, very easily done. I have a couple of Briggs & Stratton engines converted to steam. Very interesting how they are done. And so this is just to show you a little bit how this conversion is done, why it's not done very often, and how it can be done. Okay, this is the intake valve here. The steam comes in this steam line here, goes into this little steam chest thing. So when it's time for the piston to go down, the poppet valve comes off its seat. That's why you have to make this little doohickey thing here so you have a seat for the poppet valve. The valve is open for most of the way down. Now it closes, you get some expansion, and there's bottom dead center. Now, when you reach bottom dead center, this is the exhaust valve. So as you approach bottom dead center, it starts to open. You can see it is opening, and it stays open for most of the way up. It closes now So there's a little bit of recompression. At top dead center, the intake valve comes up. Now it just starts to come up just now, so it's open. It should be open for about a quarter to half of the stroke down. This one is open a little longer, which gives you more torque but less steam efficiency. We are using poppet valves here, and poppet valves are actually the best valves to use. Your old-fashioned Stanley engines used a slide D valve, which had not only many things wrong with it, but everything was wrong with it. You can also do piston valves, which in the hydraulic trade are called spool valves, and they're pretty good, but the best are poppet valves. So you can see the timing, correct timing for poppet valves. The steam comes out of here, goes into that head which I showed you, and then the steam goes in through that little mill slot, comes out through the little mill slot. That's all there is to it. And once you see how it's done, in that you need to make this thing here, which has the valve seat underneath, the exhaust valve has the original valve seat.